Okay, so we're back. The phone call happened, and everything went to hell in a handbasket. So now we have to do part two of this pretendian shit. So if you're not up to speed, we're talking about self-hatred, and now I need to click on the TikTok because it paused, and that's where I left off. All right, so I'm back. The phone call happened, fucked up everything, and we're on self-hatred. Alright, so let me explain to y'all about how self-hatred works, alright? Because I've had to live with self-hatred personally myself from kindergarten to high school, which is probably on this first little half of this thing. So we're going to get past that because that was just your fucking recap, alright? So here's that thing. My battle for acceptance started with everyone else before it started with me. And until I learned how to accept myself, no one else would accept me. Now, that may sound redundant. It may sound perfect. But it's also fucking irrelevant because even after I accept it myself, I still don't receive a lot of acceptance from other people. Now, I also know I spoke about the two natives that I posthumously worded that I would run into a tree and run one into oncoming traffic because both of those gentlemen were handicapped and could not stand up on the wheelchair basketball team. And that probably wasn't the best way to handle that. But I don't need other people, especially natives, telling me that I'm not a pure native. That I already know. Already know. It's the same thing as black people telling me, you're never gonna fucking be black. You're not. You're too yellow. You're not black. You're never gonna be one of us. You are a fucking zebra. Hey, Tonto. Hey, Julio. Do I need to go on to how many times somebody black has called me a fucking wetback? Do I need to do that? Okay? So I grew up with self-hate. I had to learn how to stop hating myself and be accepting of myself as a person who has three races flowing through my bloodline. Alright? It wasn't fucking easy. But I also had to go talk to a spiritualist about this dream I had because one time I dreamed I was three people at the same time in a bar. Black me and white me got to fighting, native me was getting drunk. And I was an alcoholic at the time. That was probably foreshadowing because I would later become an alcoholic in my late 30s, early 40s. Alright? Happens. I was in the military. I suffer from depression. I still suffer from depression. I deal with it very well now, thank you. I have a doctor that has helped me stay on track for the last 6 to 8 years. Plus, I lost my father 8 years ago, which didn't help. It didn't help except for the part that I stopped drinking. No, that, boom. And then I also refuse to take medicine. I hate medicine. You will not get me to take medicine. And I am dreadfully afraid of three things on this earth. The first one is needles. Okay, technically it's the second one because the very first thing I'm afraid of is actually horses. Alright? And the third thing is I'm afraid of what I will do to a person who crosses me the wrong way. So that's why I send warnings, not invitations, in case anybody wants to know why I use that as my catchphrase. It is mine, and if I catch you with it, I will send you an invitation to a bloodbath. This is for educational purposes anyway. If you guys aren't allowed to see this video, it is on YouTube. Anyway, self-hatred. You pretendians hate yourself so fucking much. You are dishonoring your ancestors. Oh, well, we can't find the African. We can trace it all the way back to 1442, but we can't find the African. Good for you. Good for you. Earlier, also in a live a few days ago, I heard a young person threaten an old person about ancestors and magic. Cool. Well, let me explain how karma works, because karma doesn't forget an address. Understand, good karma, bad karma, all karma never forgets a fucking address. Sometimes the more good you put out there, the more good you get back. All the evil you put out, you get that back tenfold. Understand that shit. So, if you're suffering and you don't know why, think about the last evil thing you did or said to somebody, because that's probably why you're fucking suffering. Alright? I've said a lot of evil, I've done a lot of evil, and I think I'm coming out of my penance now. But, here's that thing. This may come back to bite me in the ass later, but I don't give a fuck because I'm doing this for all the people. Black and native alike. Because this indigenous erasure, this black erasure, this bullshit with you pandemic pretending Aboriginal motherfuckers who have no goddamn culture, who have no fucking folklore, no ability to show an heirloom, a weapon, and no possibility of trusting anybody who doesn't look like you, who doesn't believe you're an ideology. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Ideology. That everyone's lying. But were you native before TikTok? Were you native in the days of MySpace? Because I was mixed in the days of MySpace. I was mixed when Facebook first came out. Both my bios say the same motherfucking thing as this bio. Also with KIK, same thing. YouTube, same thing. What were you doing 10 years ago? Because I know some of y'all are 40 and below. Now, I don't accept the fact that y'all probably weren't native, but magically became native. If that's your thing, it's bullshit. But okay, I'll let you keep your bullshit, because here's that thing. I knew I was mixed from day one in school. You know why I knew I was mixed and how I didn't think nothing of it? Because see, when mixed people go home, we don't see our parents by their race. We see our parents as our parents. That's it. We see our grandparents as our grandparents. We don't see them by their race. We don't fucking know what the fuck race is until we get to school. No, we know what our gender is because, hey boy, hey girl, boys pee standing up, girls pee sitting down. You are taught this natural shit before you ever go into society. Alright? You are. How fucking ever, some of y'all are just redundantly retarded, and all of a sudden, now, we native. Do you know how many times one of my uncles on my mom's side has said, you know, this is how it is? You know how many times one of my uncles on my father's side has said, this is how it is? And now, when this is how it is with my mom's side, it's a different picture of this is how it is on my father's side. When they would get in trouble, my Uncle Robert and my Uncle Bruce would tell me their mother never caught them. It was always my great-grandmother that caught them, and the first thing that would come out their mouth is, damn, here goes that damn Indian woman again. So we were very much aware that we have native in us. How much? Don't know. Probably not relevant enough to get any benefits or any of that shit. But here's that thing about my reconnecting journey. I never set out to get benefits. In fact, I had no plans on having a reconnecting journey until I went to the hospital for what we thought was skin cancer. And I had met a mixed native who was darker than me, all native up here, but not native in the skin tone. Alright? He's like, yeah, you need to reconnect. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, you need to reconnect. And I was like, man, I know I'm part native. I don't really need to reconnect. And then I got to thinking about that shit. So I started my reconnecting journey. And that was just after my father had passed, like about 2 or 3 years after. So I was between 44 and 45, because I had my surgery at fucking 42. And then I thought about it. You're right. I need to reconnect, because the last thing my dad gave me before he died was my great-grandmother's hatchet. No feathers, just a big-ass, rusty-ass hatchet, which I have showed on more than one occasion on this thing. And I got to thinking to myself, the only thing this old woman ever gave me was folklore. Before she lost her legs due to gangrene. Folklore. And by the way, gangrene has taken out a lot of Native Americans. And it took out both my grandmothers. Both of them. On my father's side. My grandmother on my mother's side is still alive, thank God. I need to go spend some time with her. But right now, this is a little bit more important, because self-hatred is a thing that Jupiterians are dealing with. And we're going to continue over after I post this. Because TikTok, you're going to get one more, maybe 2 more, because I hate fucking even numbers. But we're going to do another self-hatred. You guys, self-hatred, keep that in mind. Okay, I titled this part 3B, so I'll be able to make two more parts, which would be 4 and 5, because I lost my train of thought for this thing. Now, for the love of God. Technology, man. Technology. Come on, damn it. What the fuck, yo? Okay, metaphorically, this is part 4 for y'all. Because I titled the other one part 3B. Because I forgot what I titled the one before that. Because it didn't copy and paste correctly. But anyway, whatever. This is part 4. Self-hatred. You guys clearly hate yourselves enough that you have turned your back on your ancestors. And again, let me be clear. Let me be 100% clear. Or as I like to say in my YouTube channel, I give you 99.9, so I'm going to have to drop the whole 1,000 on you now. No one has ever said that you did not have Native American ties. But what they have said is, show us the proof of this tribe that you come from that was here before 1492 that was full-on black people. That's it. But none of y'all have the evidence. None of y'all are running to the BIA. There is a BIA in every fucking state. All right? You may not want to believe that shit, and that's your prerogative, but check it. There is a BIA in every fucking state that has a native population. There's a BIA in damn near every state. Then let's put it that way. Let's be clear. There's one in damn near every state. The bigger the Native American population is, there's a BIA there. All right. If not, the BIA is within some travel distance of that fucking state. All right. Now, you got that out the way. Let's get back on your self-hatred kick, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers hate yourselves. You hate yourselves a lot. You're not alone. I used to hate myself all the motherfucking time. But I hated myself because other people fucking hated me. You're breeding up an air half-breed. You're a fucking zebra. Why do you exist? I don't fucking know. My family had sex, and then here I am. I didn't ask to be born. There has been a time in my life when I got to the point where I got tired of being mixed, and I only wanted to be native. And that was because of college. All right? I had a teacher from Spain look me dead in the face and say, "Hi, me. I've never met a Mexican that couldn't speak Spanish." And I had to correct her real quick to say, first and foremost, that's racist as fuck. Secondly, I'm not a Mexican. I am part Native American, part black, and part white. And I am not of the Native American Mexican diaspora. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, you need to get some American culture. Mexicans aren't the only Native Americans. There are other Native Americans. And she's like, Mexicans are natives. She had no fucking idea. Like most of you have no fucking idea. Especially you who are coming after Mexicans and Chicanos and other people of that racial diaspora. They are native. You just don't want to accept it because the government decided to put borders there and make sure that we talk about borders because of the border crisis that we're having. Some of those motherfuckers are native. All right? Some of them are native, but you guys don't want them in here. And this is their land. As a mixed person, I do say this is their land, not my land, because I'm mixed. I don't think I have enough blood quantum in me to claim it. So, fuck it. And here's the thing. Natives don't really claim the land. They protect it. They protect water. What do you Aboriginals do? The fucking opposite. This is my land. I'm gonna stake my claim on this shit. Because we are the Aboriginals. We were here. Yeah, it's funny how none of y'all have a spear, a bow, a tomahawk, an axe, a hatchet, whatever the hell you want to call it. Y'all ain't got none of that shit. Y'all don't know nothing about knives. You don't know nothing about stone-tipped spears. You know nothing. Oh yeah, my bad. Y'all actually have some impressive ass folklore. We were 35 feet tall. Wakanda's a real place in South America, and we turned into jaguars. Now, just about every culture on the planet has a shape-shifting story. Alright? Just about. But here's that thing. Y'all don't even talk about that shit. unless you talk about it in a fantasy light versus a folklore. Um, y'all don't talk about y'all tribes. Y'all don't teach anything about y'all tribes. Y'all just come up, okay, well we Chittimancha, or we Chickasaw, or in some people's case we're Chickensaw. Yo, here's the thing, man. Only ties that I have to my native shit is folklore, and you're fucking that up. All right, I'm on my reconnecting journey, and then this app started doing dumb shit. My black side of my culture just decided out of the fucking blue. Native Americans aren't the real Native Americans. Black people are. The slaves of black people are really slaves of Native Americans. And then y'all tell some shit that didn't happen. Black slaves that ran away into the forest generally got caught. Alright? Depending on how many times they ran and how far they ran, if they got far enough where they could meet natives, they were assimilated into the native community. Alright? Then y'all leave that off. But then y'all also fail to understand that when society started to evolve and grow, and natives and the Native American Act and all that other shit was forced on the reservations, they could not leave the reservations. I made a video about it where natives get SOS'd when they left the reservation without permission. If they had supplies, they had to wait for the fucking government to bring the supplies. The government has to take a fucking head count of every native in every family on that fucking reservation to make sure they got enough to bring them spam, government cheese, and everything else they needed before they modernized and started having stores and supplies and allowing fucking casinos to start building up money for reservations. Other than that, reservations suffered. They suffered, and they suffered bad. But y'all don't know about that because you're fucking pretendians, and you probably didn't even never ask a native about how life is on a reservation because it's not fucking peaches and goddamn cream. Now, I've never been to a reservation, but I've had stories. But yeah, y'all motherfuckers was always here. No. But hey, I mean, it is what it fucking is. But y'all motherfuckers self-hate so badly that you have not done your research on how Native Americans really, literally had to ask before leaving the reservation. If they wanted to come to town, if they needed something, they had to rely on Big Daddy Government because Big Daddy Government was like, if this motherfucker steps off of here, SOS. And for those who do not know, it is not the Navy save our ship shit. No. S-H-O-T. If you can spell, you know what that spells. O-O-N. If you can spell, that's on. And then S-I-T-E. Unless you need the full spelling of the actual meaning, S-I-G-H-T. Sight. So S-O-S. Boom. But y'all don't know about that. But yet, you're Aboriginals. So how is it that natives can't leave, but Aboriginals can do what the fuck they want? I don't think so. But I never thought that I would have to keep making these fucking videos. Until, like, today. Today I was like, yeah, I'm not going to make one of these videos. I don't have to make these videos anymore, because eventually this shit's going to stop. I was wrong. I'm usually never fucking wrong. But here's that thing. Y'all hate yourselves so bad that you would rather be people who were looked at worse and treated far worse. And in case y'all did not know, for you Aboriginals, scalping was still allowed up to the current time on natives. Literally, it was still legal to scalp a native. Alright? But hey, y'all Aboriginals, y'all should know that. But, scalping also wasn't initially a native thing. But I'm sure y'all don't believe that either. Now let's get back on the self-hatred thing before I run out of time, because I'm going to make one more video after this and I'm going to wrap this shit the fuck up. The self-hatred that you Aboriginals, pretendians, pandemic Indians, whatever the fuck you're calling yourselves, when you look in the mirror, does it burn you? Damn it, an alarm. And there it is. Couldn't stop it. You look in the mirror and what you see burns you. Does it fill you up to be like, I'm going to get up today and I'm going to talk some shit. I'm going to piss off some natives. I'm going to let them know that Aboriginals were first. Because see, that little burning feeling, that little tingling feeling, that feeling of self-hate, when you look in that mirror. I've had to live with that shit for 50 fucking years. For 50 fucking years because I have depression, so sometimes I do hate myself, but I know what self-hatred is like. But I know what being hated by other people is like also because I am a mixed person. I have gotten those snickers where people say, he's not one of us. And right across, these guys are enemies, but he's not one of us either. But y'all haven't done that shit because y'all literally just became native like this year or last year or a year and a half ago. But I'm mixed, and I've been mixed for 50 years. So I know a thing or two about self-hatred because I've had to get over it a lot because I've also been victimized for being mixed. What about y'all? Well, I'd like an answer. Eventually, somebody will be brave enough to answer. I highly doubt it, though. One second, y'all. I'm almost done. I can't cut this damn music off. Come on. Why? Okay, it's offline. Oh, here we go. Technology. Cut that off. Thank you. Come on, give me the option. Oh, this motherfucker. I gotta make some clarification also. I hate technology. Shit, that did it again. Okay, this is part 5. I'm gonna wrap this shit up and leave y'all the fuck alone. But I'm gonna finish it with self-hatred because the self-hatred is unfucking acceptable. Is this bitch even recording? I know that YouTube is recording. I don't know what the hell's going on with this phone. We have to try this shit again. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Okay, now it's recording. So this is part 5. I'm gonna leave y'all alone after this. This self-hatred shit that y'all are doing. In 1 second. You keep going. Regardless of what you hear. I'll be there to get it as soon as I'm done. Okay, we're back and we're starting over with the TikTok. This is part 5. I'm leaving it here with this self-hatred shit because this self-hatred shit is fucking unacceptable. Alright? I've been there. I'm done. And I know I'm gonna have to make one more video about this shit for you pretendians, pandemic Indians, whatever the fuck you're going by today. You could possibly have Native American ties. I want to end this video saying that before I say anything else that might be relevant and might not be relevant. But for this tribe in which everybody claims that black people were first, etc., etc., you clearly don't have the evidence. You don't. And for some reason, you don't want to believe the science, but you will believe things that work in your narrative. But that shit be debunked by all kinds of people. It gets debunked by natives, it gets debunked by Pan-Africans, it gets debunked by regular ass black people. But yet here you are, not wanting to be black. Here I am, a mixed person, who can at least walk in the world of blacks and natives, and I'm going to get racism from both sides. Oh, how do I know that, you may ask? Because it depends on who the fuck you encounter. Alright? I've dealt with racist black people, and I've dealt with racist natives. I've only had 2 bad racist natives, though, because they literally told me that I was impure, and mostly it was because I wanted to date their niece. So they were looking out for bloodline interests, because we don't want mixed people in our family. And you think I have not been told that by black people? You think I haven't been told that by half the girls I've dated? Well, we can date you, but we can't have babies with you because our parents want to keep the family pure. No such thing. But hey, it is what it is. But as bad off as I've had it, I haven't been as bad off as some of you. I have not deleted my European ancestors. I just know that I'm never going to be European. It's never going to fucking happen. I'm not going to go into a crowd of European people and blend right the fuck in. It's not going to fucking happen. Now, I can go into a room full of Native Americans, and no one's going to know that I'm not a full Native American, but they're going to know that I have Native in me. I can go into a room with black people, and it's going to be the same experience that I have with the natives. Either I'm going to meet a decent person, or I'm going to meet a racist piece of crap. No one is above racism. Don't let anybody tell you that they are. Everybody can be racist. Now, here's that thing. I can say that because I've had racist experiences from all 3 of my races that I am a part of. Yes, white racist people, black racist people, and native racist people. The only difference is that I've only had 2 bad native experiences, a fuck ton of black, and a little bit of white. And that leads to self-hatred. However, me still existing, me still breathing, proves that I'm stronger than both of them. That also proves that somebody doesn't know how to fucking listen. But we will handle that in a minute. Anyway, if you don't correct your problems now, when that whole karma train comes back around, because karma doesn't forget an address, the self-hatred you bring to yourself will be for your children and their children, and so on and so on. My parents didn't hate themselves, and if they did, I never saw it. Alright? And they were mixed too. This is how I know that I'm mixed. My parents were mixed. My grandparents, I didn't see them by race when I went home. When I got to go see my grandparents in Smithville, which is 3 hours away from Charlottesville, I saw my grandparents. I didn't see them as a native. I didn't see my grandfather as black. I just saw my grandparents as my grandparents. That's it. Kids don't see race. They are taught race. Now, as you are taught tradition and culture at home, as most natives are, you remember that shit. I only got to see my native great-grandmother until she was fucking in 1983 when she passed. I only got folklore because I didn't live in Smithville. She lived in Smithville. There's the difference maker. For those who live with their grandparents and they know their grandparents, they learn everything if they pay attention. My grandmother, her daughter, cooked for a living. I hate corn. I was force-fed corn. I fucking hate corn. I can't stand fucking corn. I'm dreadfully afraid of horses. I learned a few things in life. Hatred of self is the worst hatred that you can have. Yeah, I've had people call me a wetback. I've had people call me some unposthumous shit. And yes, those people look just like me. I've had natives tell me that I wasn't a pure native, that I would never fucking be a native. But I don't hate all natives for that. Just those 2 assholes. Because me and their niece could have been a great couple. But I never got the chance for that. I've had black women who have told me to my face that I will never be black enough and that no black woman would date me. So in turn, I lost my attraction to black women, but they are some very beautiful black women. I'm just not sexually attracted to them. They're very beautiful though. Very beautiful. But you see what self-hatred does. It turns you against people that you probably have the potential of having great lives with. But you know, y'all hate yourselves. Y'all get up in the morning and y'all feel that little burning. If I could just pull off this black skin. You're not the only ones. You're not the only ones. The difference maker is you didn't have someone 20, 30 fucking years ago because you probably aren't even close to 40 yet. Or if you're over 40 or over 55, where, you know, this shit was happening to you the way it was happening to me. That's a different ballgame. But here's the difference. You can look me dead in my face and see that I am part native. You can look me dead in my face and see that I am part black. And I can tell you to the cows come home that I am part white. Europeans aren't going to give a fuck that I'm part white. Not really. You don't look white to us. No. Natives, blacks, well, they're going to either say I'm a half-breed and I'm going to be accepted, or they're going to say I'm a half-breed and I'm going to be rejected. And how do I know this? Because life experience is your fucking teacher. Alright? For those who are pretendians, Aboriginals, or pandemic Indians, get your ass in the mirror and ask yourself, what is more important? That this social media shit accepts me for who I am? And that I live a horrible lie? Or do I accept the bionic truth? Everybody's not going to see me for who I am. When I get pulled over, I'm still brown. And if the cop is bad, he's probably going to take me down. The only problem is the times that I have been pulled over, I've never really had a bad police experience except for that one time coming from Goochland where I had to watch my speedometer. And if that shit went over 55 miles an hour, I was going to jail. Other than that, that was it. The only other time when I got pulled over, my hair was all the way to right there. The cop that pulled me over thought I was a chick, and he had been harassing women of color, Spanish women, black women. If you were of color, he was pulling women over. I went through a yellow light. He said it was red. He pulled me over at the bus stop and called me ma'am until I told him I was a sir and presented my identification. He felt a little bit stupid after that. He wrote me a fucking ticket and sent me on my way. I went to go pay the ticket, and the judge used me as an evidential way of saying that this dude was a racist piece of shit. And yes, that happened in Charlottesville, Virginia, way back in the mid-90s, between 95 and 97. So yeah, trust me when I tell you, I've received it all. And some of those things made me hate myself, and I got back up on my feet. I know who I am. And I'm not here to tell you who you are or who you are not. But I am going to tell you this. If you keep pulling this Aboriginal bullshit and the Trail of Tears didn't happen and we lived in teepees while y'all lived in longhouses and did all the technological shit and everything else, these fantastic fantasies that y'all keep doing, I'm going to enjoy the wave of karma that comes back. And if you're not mixed native when you're off this app, because I'm mixed every fucking day. Every day. When I apply for a job, yes, I put down black, and you should see the faces of the people who see me. Like, you're not black. Okay, I won't be black. But the damn thing says that I'm going to be black. So, yeah, I've actually got jobs because people thought I was Mexican and thought I could speak Spanish. Surprise, motherfucker, I can't speak Spanish. I've been through the fucking ringer. A lot. Y'all better wake the fuck up. You may have native ties, but there was no tribe that was here before natives were here. Because you don't have the fucking evidence to prove it that they were black. So stop doing this shit. And stop thinking that the Trail of Tears did not happen. Because it fucking happened. Just like the Dawes rolls, just like the residential schools, just like the missing and murdered indigenous people. Get over yourself. And stop this bullshit. Because it's getting old, it's getting tired, and someone's going to bust you eventually. Just saying. Thank you guys here on YouTube for watching. I'm going to god damn it. I'm going to end the video now, but I just want you guys to understand this is the shit that happens on TikTok all the fucking time. I will probably make more videos later, But until then, this is for you. If you are Aboriginal, a pandemic Indian, or a pretendian, or whatever the fuck you're going by today, you really need to knock the shit off. You really do. Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense that this is a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. This was not a thing before social media. It really wasn't. It wasn't a thing before social media. It shouldn't be a thing now. But obviously, it's a thing. And until this shit comes to an end, I may have to make these videos. I hate making these videos just as much as I hate making these videos about Mr. Trump. But it is what it is. And until this problem is solved and people stop having these, well, I'm going to take the land. This is our land. We were here first. But yet y'all don't have a bow and arrow. You don't have a fucking hatchet. You don't have a tomahawk. You don't have a fucking knife. Y'all don't look stoic. And the only damn thing these pretendians talk about is how they're going to take the land from Walmart or whatever person's on their land. And yet they forget this is how the government works in America. You can have all the fucking land you want, but if you don't pay taxes on that fucking land, your land is now their land. And we'll end it with this. This land is your land. This land is my land, but it was fucking stolen. Now take that to your graves and smoke it, because this is how this shit works if you're fucking pretending. Hey, the land, the natives protect the land. They don't own it, they share it. They share the resources of the land. They protect the resources of the land. But the pretendians, that's right, you motherfuckers that you're probably watching this right now, the pretendians want the land. They want the land grabs. They want all this other shit, and forget that you still have to pay taxes as an American until the fucking day you die. Sorry. That's the fucking facts. Let's not go into the O positive blood shit, because that shit's almost completely universal by now. That being said, I'm Echo Fangray with this Kung Fu number 2. Be seeing you.